After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referee's command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
All set for the final of the men's 80 kg. We're just about to hit 2 p.m. on day 7 of these World Powerlifting Championships in Tbilisi, in Georgia. Tbilisi, as we've always said it in English, and then you come here and they tell you, don't you dare call our city that. Okay. So, on we go. We are into 3 groups. Group C, there's pretty much bang on 30 competing in this. We're on for the next 4.5 hours or thereabouts. And we go all the way up to, in the history of this event, this year's world record. Ruhala Rastami, 241 kg. Yuri Navanambume has actually made a good name for himself. Certainly in the European scene in the past few years. His junior world record from 6 years ago still stands. So we start off with Tanawat Kankan. He'll be coming at 65 kilos. Hideki Odoko coming in next at 66, all the way to Abaskan Rakimzhonov of Uzbekistan, who's aiming for 145, along with Bakosha of Kazakhstan. Referees: Alessia Parak, Chiara Tifrelli and Martin Redesen. And here's your jury. On the way then, the final of this men's 80 kilogram decider.
Welcome the technical officials for this session.
all ready then for the final of the men's 80 kg. There are 3 groups, and as usual, we'll start with Group C. And there's some Thailand fans in the audience too. They'll be interested straight away. Thanawat Kaingan, lifetime best of 80 kilos. That came in the Bangkok World Cup in May. He lifted for 5th place there with that 80 kilos. It is his first major championship. It comes at the age of 21, and he's aiming for 66 kilos. That success in Bangkok, his first appearance on the World Cup circuit. And this at 66, his first major championship lift. And that sets him perfectly in train. 3 out of 3 from the referees, 66. That's a good way for his competition to get running. The first way for his championship lifetime career to start. Did well. Next up, Odo Hideki of Japan, and the Dubai World Cup seeing him with his all-time peak of 198. Starting with a third of that here. Bronze in the Asian Games 3 years ago. It's his 6th World Championship, 6th his best in 2010, bronze in the Asia Oceania Championships in 2018 as well. Odo for 66. This to go into 2nd position in the head-to-head with Kaingan, and he has done that. Three out of 3 for him as well. Andrea Bruno is next up for Italy. 132, his lifetime best is set here in Tbilisi earlier in the year. And it's his major championship debut. Odo will skip the rest of the event. I'm not sure what the situation is, but I suspect, as we saw yesterday in one of the competitions, somebody was starting off really low. A couple of days ago, the European champion from Greece, Christoforos, went for something like half of his lifetime best, and that was it. There has to be an injury. You don't come into an event like this and go for a third of your lifetime best. Obviously, this is a situation, and it's a pity. It's struck at the wrong time. He came in, he lifted, he's got his mark, and that'll obviously help for grants and funding and so on, so he can carry on in the sport. He came, he lifted, and that was the end of that. Andrea Bruno then coming in for 137. So 137 for the lead. And by 5 kilos, it is a new lifetime best for Andrea Bruno. He was originally looking at 144, you know, but I think he's probably done the right thing to start a little bit lower. So Bruno starts successfully, he's on the board, and now we can really expand it. If he wants to go high into the 140s, 150s, new territory, definitely can go and do that. Juan Ramirez. Miramontes from Mexico, 122 in the last World Championships in Nur Sultan. That's his lifetime best. He finished 29th in the competition. Bronze in the World Juniors there, though. 138 would be a new lifetime best for him. It's his second major championship. Competed a huge amount on the national scene. He's a regular medalist in the Mexico Championships. So for 138 in the lead, that has gone against him for the chess sequence. All 3 referees as well were not satisfied with that, so he's got to work that one out. He's starting off in terms of the height he's targeting, the same sort of seeded place in this where he finished 2 years ago, but that World Junior title was very welcome. So next for Libya, Mosabgar Salah, 137. Going back a few years, the Fazar World Cup in... Now, tell you what, it's not the Fazar World Cup because I was at this one. World Championships in Dubai in 2014. Next World Championships will be there as well in 2023. Aiming for 138. He finished 12th in those World Championships. Couldn't hit the same height when he came back to his next ones 2 years ago in Nur Sultan. He was 20th there, but he's an African Championship bronze medalist back in previous series of them in 2009. He was 4th in the newly re-established African Championships in Algiers. 2018, 138 is his target here. So 138 lifted by him. Might have had a longer wait, which would have led going to the flags, but it's all worth it. All three happy with what they've seen, so those 3 white lights, good lift, white out, and that's all good. Solid lift. Next up, Matias Rebeco of Chile. 143, his lifetime best. And this is his first major championship, the Chilean champion. From 2019, he's 25. Good bunch of the Chilean squad are here again. .140 then his target. Which is 3 outside the lifetime best he set in winning those championships. And that is a good lift, 2 to 3. So he is out in front in Group C. That's all fine. Victoriano Mendoza of Panama now, 141 is lifetime best set in Bogota in the World Cup earlier this year, where he finished in 4th place. We've seen him in quite a few events before. He was 5th in the Pan Ams 2 years ago in Lima, and we've seen him previously at the World Championships in Mexico City, where he finished 20th. Lives in Penamome, and his coach is Joaquin Salazar. He lifted 125 at the World Championships in Mexico City. Didn't start in the Central American Games, the Central American Games in 2018. He'd have had a good prospect in that. 6th in the Americas Championships in Bogota. That's it, 140. And that's very good by Victoriano Mendoza. Gonzalez, 140, goes into second spot. They lifted 130 in those Americas, 138 of the Pan Ams, 141 in Bogota this year. He's making decent progress. So next up, it's Sakszilik Bakosa of Kazakhstan in his first major championship. So this to go high and to go into the lead. Certainly in terms of his grouping anyway, 145. Remember that Odo Hideki is out. He had his lift of 66, but as somebody who regularly lifts over 170, 180, as he has done through his career, his lifetime best is exactly 3 times what that target of 66 is. Then obviously there's been something amiss, and he got his successful lift, which was good, but he is now withdrawn. So Bakosa for Kazakhstan in his first major championship for 145, and he does not lead. He misses out in the press sequence. 2 and against. Abisgon Rakimjanov, 94 is lifetime best, so this is definitely going to be a PB if he gets it. The Asian Youth Games bronze medalists 2017, the last time they were held, and they're now underway. They began yesterday in Bahrain. He was the bronze medalist the last time they were held. And the day after these championships end on Monday with the team competition, the World Weightlifting Championships begin in Tashkent in Uzbekistan the very next day. 145, Rakimjanov for the lead for Uzbekistan, and they've sent again a really good sizable squad here, but a lot of new names. It's probably the biggest squad they've ever had, and he clears it, and he is our leader at the end of Group C. Rakimjanov, 145, and he leads by 5 for Uzbekistan at the end of this.
The next round begins with 70 kilos and a rack height of 13.
Hasn't been a regular too much of the World Cup circuit since. It's his first World Championship, and he's got that. So it's his first major adult championship. Rakimjanov leads 145. Rebecco second for a Chilean 140. Mendoza for Panama third, 140. Gazala fourth for Libya on 138. And you could just see the target for the Uzbek will be 150 in the next round. So, Tenkan for Thailand going for 70. beat him in 6th place, and in normal circumstances there might have been a jostle between him and Odo Hideki, but the fact that Odo Hideki was lifting around 66 meant the circumstances weren't normal anyway. So Kenkan lifting for 70, and this to get clear of Odo having lifted 66 alongside him. And he has it. That's all 3 in his favour, and so he goes to 70 kg. It's a nice technical lift. And Kengan happy that he's gone on to his second. His lifetime best is 80, by the way, so that'll be maybe a target, or will have some bearing on what he goes for in the 3rd and final round. Juan Miramontes from Mexico, 138. Missed it first time going again. It would be by 16 kilos. A new lifetime best. One of those that was granted major championship debut, competing for the host nation of Mexico City 4 years ago in those somewhat delayed games. Well, it was a lovely venue, and yeah, it was in the aftermath of the really bad earthquake that cost hundreds of lives in Mexico City at the end of that summer. So it got moved to Christmas time alongside the World Para Swimming Championships, which was in the 1968 Mexico Aquatic Center, directly next door to what was the basketball stadium, and which is still used for the top flight in Mexico. I've actually still got a little armband for the home team there. It's a lovely venue with nice crowds. It was good for it. It was nice to have a few hundred members of the public there for every session, along with the hundreds of those who always come and watch this anyway because they're directly involved. And this man's directly involved in the leaderboard now. Ramirez Miramontes clears 138, and that puts him into 6th place. And that's a lifetime best. Certainly the events I've been at, the best crowds that we have had. That and Almaty for the Asian Championships in 2015, which was in, again, a good decent sized indoor stadium, crowds of a few hundred. And you might remember the opening day in Nur Sultan with the opening ceremony attached in their Expo Congress Center. It was full. They obviously love a ceremony in Kazakhstan. Full house. Andrea Bruno up now, looking to go into 2nd spot for Italy. First major championship, he was 7th here in Tbilisi in the World Cup this year. And obviously, There'll be a lot more who will come in for the A group in a few hours' time. But there is a nice crowd here already. A lot of the Chilean team here. Japan, Thailand, all represented. And we're talking about a level of athlete that's not competing for medals, but basically the ones here are competing to have a career on the world stage here, and that they'll get a finish, a good finish, a lifetime best. 142 in the case here of Bruno. Nice lift, 2 out of 3. And for Bruno, that's now a lifetime best, 10 clear of what he previously had. And in the case of a lot of countries, they'll just be funding for that. You've improved, you've got a finish at a World Championship, you've improved your lifetime best a couple of times, and there'll be a bit of money just for training facilities and that. Just enough to justify competing in the sport. Essentially, it's an amateur, really. I know, funding a lot of countries and grant money, basically, it wouldn't be akin to a full-time job. Obviously, there are some countries where it is, but that's a different story. Let's tell you the story of Musab Garsala then of Libya. Chance to go second leap from 138 to 144. This would put him into second place, behind Aboskon Rakimjanov. But anyway, we see a lot of you powerlifters on Instagram, and you're training every single day for maybe 4, 5, 6 international competitions a year, and it's your obsession. And it's the thing you love, and if you can get off the mark, which, well, hasn't happened here, then you might love it a little bit more. Well, press sequence here didn't go right, 144. And Garsala stays on 138. Just didn't get the technical execution right, quite obviously, to all three referees. Chile now always send a really big team. Mateus Reveco, 145, had 140 previously. This to go into second place. He's lying third at the moment. And this would beat his lifetime best by 2 kilos. The Chilean champion. First major championship for him, though. Have a couple to aim for the next couple of years, including Santiago, the Pan Am Games in 2023. 145, how good was that? That was perfect, that's how it was. Lifetime best, 145, Reveco. Excellently done. And now we could go and try and do something even bigger in the third round. Nice clearance. And he can add a couple more on if he wants to. Prospects, good prospects. Now this is a man who had the prospect of being a leader earlier, but he missed in the opening round of 145. It was a lifetime best attempt. Jakilis Zakosha of Kazakhstan, and he's going again for 145. Most mornings I could do with one of those here, I'll tell you. Are usually midway through Group B and something like this. Anyway, 145, lifetime best attempt. He would go top. He would just edge past Rakim Zhonov, who's also lifted 145, but 140 grams lighter in body weight he is, so... Ooh, hang on, did he... I think he hit the rack there, did he? I heard something. Well, if they clear... No, he hit the... I think he hit the rack. And it was looking good up until the end. So he's marked down by everyone for that. Technique's fine all the way. It's the press. There, he clips it. There, you see it. That's it. That's it. He's gone. He's wiped out. It was actually a really good lift until then, to my uneducated eye. As soon as he hits the rack, gone, gone, gone. That is such a rarity. And if we've seen that before in the championship since we've been coming to you live in the last 7 years, I wasn't involved in the first couple. I can't remember ever seeing anything like that before. That was really unfortunate for Bakocha, by the way, because had he not hit the rack, I think he'd have got that lift. He was veering back a lot though, and then the bar control issues come into it. Here's Mendoza for Panama, 145, second attempt. Fifth in the Pan Ams in 2019, sixth in the Americas Championships in Bogota, and 20th in the last World Championships in 2017. I remember the first time we covered this in 2014, we had quite a few of the male weights that went into 4 groups, and there was a real threat that this would be the 3rd day in a row we would have that here, and with the 30-minute gaps then it would make an extra long day, potentially top up at 5.5 hours, but we've only had one event like that. We've this and last night at 72 kg, just getting in at 3 groups, 3 full groups. This is a full lift. Well, he had to extend himself a lot there, Mendoza, at 145, and he got it raised, and praise to him for that. But they've all voted him down. The bar control had gone by the end, the hands were opening up, and the body sequence as well was spotted by one of the referees from their angle going awry. So he misses out on that.
Spotter loaders, 150 kilos.
Would have been a lifetime best, 140. See, hands is opening up and he's just lost it there totally. Well done on him though, in getting the whole thing up. Not that it counted anymore, it's like putting into an empty net when the whistle's gone. Mind you, as they say in football, play to the whistle. I know you're all in your beds last night. Well, we were here. But playing to the whistle is always a good thing, especially if you're playing at Old Trafford. Watched the highlights this morning, it didn't stay up. Kickoff was after midnight. Abascon Rakimjanov, 150, cleared 145 in the opening round, and this to extend his lead to 8. 150, and he is on lifetime best territory. Hasn't got it, and it's bar control from 2 of the 3, and the press sequence mentioned twice as well, so he doesn't get that. And if there are a number of issues that have cropped up, then it won't appear on your screen. If it's something that all of the referees are citing, then you will see it. Although if there's more than one issue being cited by all the referees, then you don't get to see that. Hope that's clear. Massive struggle in the end for him. Rakim Janov leads, Uzbekistan 145. Raveko's done brilliantly up to 145 for Chile, and Bruno in third for Italy 142. Mendoza fourth for Panama 140, and Ramirez Miramontes is in fifth. And a few notches down for that Tanawat Kian Khan, and he's not going to get any higher in terms of placing, but he certainly can in terms of weight. And this is for a lifetime best of 82, as his current lifetime best is 80. His only international event was the Bangkok World Cup. He has not been in an ASEAN Southeast Asian Games, Southeast Asian Para Games before. The last one of those staged in 2017. He'd have been 16 at the time. Hoping that they will be back running again shortly. The last two have been cancelled. Due to be in Hanoi this year and Bangkok the start of last year. Kuala Lumpur held the last one in 2017. The able-bodied ASEAN Games, normally around October, November, and sometimes they can squeeze in the paras immediately after, and sometimes they wait until the start of the following year, and 2020 was not the year to do that. None of us knew at the time. Is this a lifetime best? It is a lifetime best of 82 for Kengan. And it is a new lifetime best for the Thai. And that's what he's been building up to all morning. And his World Championships have been a success. He should finish in the 20s, but he's had the best lift of his life. He's 21 now. And because of this, it should set the ball rolling and him qualifying for future events, which means we should see him at every World Championship from now on, and hopefully every Asian Games and every Asia Oceania Championships. I've been taking Korea, by the way, for the Asia Oceanias next year in June. One Ramirez Miramontes clearing 138 in the middle round, and this for 142, which should be 20 kilos higher than the lifetime best he had coming into this morning. Going for 138, mightily impressive. Lot of that will have been based on what he's been able to get up to and near in training. Well, he showed nice potential in getting that bronze in the World Juniors in Nur Sultan in 2019. Probably just slightly too young for the 2017 World Juniors in Mexico City. 142, all three against him. Bar control, sighted in that, and the press, and from a different angle the chest. So they all marked him down. And no joy for Miramontes. He finishes though in 138 and a new lifetime best. So if you can come to an event like this and have your best ever lift, then well done. Musab Gassala of Libya now 138. He got in the opening round. Gassala then going for 144 again. So Gassala, if he gets this, goes up to third. And if he gets that, then his position at worst would be 23rd over the entire competition. And that is just fantastic. And you know what? Last time, his last lift, it was 3-0 against, but it was a simple technique thing that they all marked him down for, and he sorted it. And it wasn't that difficult too. So he gets high in the board, he goes up into third, and Gassala, it has been worth his trip.
The bar is loaded for Panama. Victoriano Mendoza Gonzalez, third attempt.
So next up for Panama, Victoriano Mendoza. And this would put him up to third on 145. Currently lying in fifth on 140. He would just be edged out by half a kilo on the head-to-head in the weigh-in by Matias Rebeco of Chile. Still, it would be a very nice leap for the Panamanian, and it would be his new lifetime best. 141 is that mark, having cleared 140 in the opening round. Here he comes, 145. Missed it last time, he's got it lifted here. And that's good, good lift. 2 out of the 3. The vote against him was actually for body position. He doesn't have to worry about that. He gets the lift, it's a lifetime best for the Panamanian. And Victoriano must feel a little bit victorious. Nice lift, 145 is his best, and he, for the moment, goes up into third. Andrea Bruno going for 146. He's cleared 137 and 142. lifetime best, both as this would be if he gets it. His first World Championship, his first major championship, and coming to Tbilisi in May was a big help to him. Bruno for 146, and this would give him the lead. Cut it lifted at the very least, but 2-1 against, and bar control sighted by one and the press on the other. That's his first miss. Shuffled from side to side a little bit there. Bakosha of Kazakhstan, who's had 2 goes at 145 and now going for 147. He's 28, and this is his first major championship. But this would put him into the lead. So 147. Well, he's decided to go a little bit heavier. We're going with the flags, I think. He's got it. Bakosha. There were 2 flags that I saw, so that's enough. And he's on the board, 145. And everything else in Group C, and there's only a couple of lifts to go to try and get top spot off Bakosha, but that was just what was needed. That is a lifetime best for Bakosha. Matthias Rebecca of Chile, who's doing really well to still be involved at this stage. Lying in third, this is a chance to go top. This would be a lifetime best by 7 kilos. Setting new one of 145 earlier to beat his old marker 143. So this to surpass the rest. He's punched through well. Was it level enough? Yes, it was. 2-1 for him. It's a good lift. It's another lifetime best for Rebecca of Chile. A lot of the national squad is here, and they're loving it, and they're loving him. Carrito's among those celebrating, and I don't blame him. That was just a cracker. Mention the press, that's what the one vote against him was. Didn't matter, he's got it. He's got the lead on 150. He has a lifetime best. That was just great. In this group, it will not be surpassed, but it can be matched by Abascon Rakimjanov, who missed 150 in the second round, going for it again here. $380 grams lighter in body weight than Rebecca, so if he gets this in the head-to-head, he would go above. This too would be breaking new ground for Rakimjanov. Having cleared 145 in the first round, missed 150 in the second, going for it again here. And this would be a lifetime best too. Can he make it work? And I'm afraid not. It was the chest sequence, and two had actually voted that the press didn't work for them either, so had he got the chest right, odds are that he'd have missed out in the press too. 150 he doesn't get, 145 he did, but at least he is high in the Group C standings as we head into Group B in around 30 minutes time. Mateusz Rebecca, our leader for Chile, at 150. Bakoza in second for Kazakhstan at 147. Rakimjanov for Uzbekistan at 145. Didn't get anything after that. Mendoza fourth for Panama, 145. Gasala in fifth for Libya on 144. But nobody was wiped out, even Hideki Odo, who had to pull out after the opening lift, which must have been for injury. He got 66. And Kane Khan got lifetime best of 82. He built up to it well and it worked out. But it is Mateusz Rebecca right now who leads for Chile. Group B will get underway at around half an hour's time.
products, we are helping change the way para-powerlifting athletes train and compete. We redesigned the WPPO Powerlifting competition bar, updating the sleeve construction to house custom-designed velocity sensors from VMAX Pro. The VMAX Pro Eleiko bar sensors fit directly into the sleeve and give athletes and coaches access to a wide variety of data to help optimize performance. With or without the sensors inserted, the bar retains its certified weight calibration. By integrating the new sensors into Eleiko bars, athletes and coaches gain accurate real-time data and velocity-based performance metrics without the distraction of external attachments that could negatively impact routines and performance. Dual sensors give accurate in-depth information about each lift, including bar path, rotation and inclination, as well as power and velocity during the lift. Athletes can review technique through detailed bar path analysis, as well as get information on readiness and appropriate loads to help shape training during a session or for longer-term planning. To use the sensors, first download the VMAX Pro app, connect your sensors, place sensors in the bar. The sensor kit comes in a convenient case and includes 2 VMAX Pro Eleiko bar sensors, charging cables, and Eleiko sensor key, along with tools, spare parts and end caps. To install the sensors, use the screwdriver's flat edge to peel off the existing end cap to reveal the end lock. Now, screw the Eleiko sensor key into the end lock as far as you can to extract the current end lock. Remove the end lock and use the screwdriver to release the clip inside the sleeves. Apply the new Eleiko WPPO Powerlifting Competition end cap to the sensor and insert the sensor into the sleeve. The sensor is magnetic and will stay in place. To remove or charge the sensor, use the flat side of the magnetic Eleiko sensor key to pull the sensor from each sleeve. Connect the sensors to the USB cords and a USB power source. To summarize, our WPPO Powerlifting Competition bars are now VMAX Pro Eleiko bar sensor compatible. When used together, athletes can get detailed analysis to help optimize their performance. It's a simple, easy-to-use system that we hope will take your bench press to the next level.
Agli alti livelli non esistono scorciatoie, esiste soltanto il puro lavoro. Non importa dove parti, ma l'importante è dove arrivi. Mi chiamo Donato Telesca, ho 22 anni e vengo dall'Italia. Io ho avuto un incidente quando avevo 2 anni e mezzo e ho avuto l'amputazione di entrambe le gambe a questa altezza qui e non ho mai smesso appunto di sognare e di ambire a quello che è il sogno di Tokyo 2020. Il top. Quando ho iniziato, una delle prime cose che mi sono chiesto era qual era il record del mondo. Ok, va benissimo, io non sono lì, voglio arrivarci. In questo momento credo che la cosa più importante sia continuare ad allenarmi sempre di più e sempre meglio. Siamo agli sgoccioli, diamo il massimo per arrivare alla miglior condizione possibile e a scrivere un altro tassello in più di storia. Buongiorno, benvenuti nella mia casa. Una cosa che faccio è andarmi a pesare.
900 grammi sopra.
Ovviamente in Italia non è facile mangiare così sano, pizzerie, panifici, ovunque, è ancora più difficile. Però l'unico modo per calare di peso è con l'insalata. Sto dedicando gli ultimi 6-7 mesi per preparare l'Olimpiade al meglio. In linea di massima mi alleno 2 volte al giorno, tutti i giorni tranne il sabato e la domenica faccio solo un allenamento. I 90 kg sono il mio primo step, poi faccio circa 6 ripetizioni, poi salgo a 120, 140, 160 fino all'allenamento del giorno. Oltre appunto a fare l'atleta sto studiando economia in università qui a Roma, un po' stressato l'ammetto, però è una cosa che davvero mi piace. Tutte volte le persone mi dicono come fai ad essere così positivo, come fai ad andare avanti, non se ne giorno abbia le gambe. In realtà la domanda che mi viene è una, e come fai tu?
After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referees command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
Well, we started last Saturday, and in the senior championships, this is day 6, which started on Sunday of these 2021 World Powerlifting Championships in Tbilisi in Georgia. We've had the women today, we've had Nigerian domination again. As for the men, we are a third of the way through the 80 kg final, up to 80 kg. This the middle group of 3, and some more recognizable names emerging in this. Actually, some recognizable surnames too, for a particularly good reason. Ruhala Rostami of Iran is our world record holder. 241, he went big. Julien Avon Mboume of France, junior world record from 6 years ago. Biggest names obviously in Group A, as perennially is the case. Here's who we have in Group B. We have another major championship, David over Chile and Jonathan Astudillo. Brian Gustin, brother of Bonnie, is in this from Malaysia. And we go all the way up to 190 kg, and Francisco Palameque for Colombia. referees are Alessia Paruk, Chiara Cifarelli and Martin Verdijssen. And here's the jury. Well, nobody missed a mark in Group C. Let's see if the same can continue in Group B. Coming up next, the final of the men's 80 kg. It resumes. So ready to go for Group B then, the men's up to 80 kg final. And 10 more athletes to meet.
2-1. The bar is loaded 145 kilos. You're ready for Paralympic.
Here's the first of them, Jonathan Astudillo of Chile. 105 is lifetime best. That in the Chilean Championships in 2019. When he won the silver, going for 145 here. That would be, by a long way, a new lifetime best by 40 kg. First major championship. He is really well supported when the names were being called out about 5 minutes ago. Massive cheer from the Chilean team. A lot of them are here, a lot of them staying on from Group C. We've already seen Matthias Reveco. He's leading going to this on 150. And this to nestle in underneath in third for a lifetime best. Oh, it's 2-1 against, and it is the chess sequence. Well, it was a good start. Up to the chess sequence anyway. He sort of bounded on positively. 2-1 against. I see it. There's no obvious contact there. You can't see that it's pressed in. Now that's from above, obviously. And the rest are watching from low down. Chinapop Kamdam now for Thailand. 170 is lifetime best set in Jakarta. Well, that was at the Asian Games 3 years ago. He finished 7th in that. He was 12th in the Asia Oceania Championships, but he has won a championship medal. The ASEAN, the Southeast Asian Para Games, he won bronze in that in 2017. Won bronze in the Bangkok World Cup earlier this year, and that is where he lives. 146. Way outside his lifetime best. but this will put him into third, and it's a good lift. 3 out of 3. And Camden is where he wants to be.
Spotter loaders, please. 150 kilos. Rack height 15.
And that is a very positive opening for him. Oscar Makube Musima for Cameroon, 171. That was right at the start of 2019 in Lagos. Won bronze in that World Cup event. He was 16th in the last World Championships. And that was in Nur Sultan 2 years ago. 11th in the African Championships the year before. 4th in the African Games, the para element of that in 2015, with Alpha Handy Sport in Douala. So this for 150. This to go into the lead for Oscar, and he has done it. And so Oscar can be in a good mood. Positivity for the man from Cameroon. Nice quality lift. Next up, Jesus Rodriguez of the Dominican Republic. 163, his lifetime best at the Pan Ams in Lima 2 years ago. 4th in those Pan Ams. No mark in the Americas in Bogota the December before, but he came back there this year and won bronze in the World Cup event. He actually has been in Tbilisi already. Tbilisi this year. Back in May, he was 4th in the World Cup and 12th in the Dubai World Cup. $152 it is for Jesus Rodriguez. Lifetime best is 11 beyond this, and this to go into the lead. So 152, there's 14 seconds left of that. I hope he didn't rush it. He did. Chest sequence. 2 of the 3 other went for the press. Misses out, all 3 against him. A strikeout for Rodriguez Next up, Athanasios Vagenis of Greece. He's 21, 132 is lifetime best, that from the Greek Championships a couple of years ago. World Junior Champion in Nur Sultan in 2019. He, by the way, won silver in those Greek Championships. He was 7th in the Europeans in Bergsamir in 2018. The national coach, Dimitris Ioannidis, looks after him on a day-to-day basis. This for 153 then for Danis. It's 21 above his lifetime best and 2-1 against on the chess sequence. Or if he's lifting 150 on other circuits, the able-bodied circuit and so on, it doesn't go down against his lifetime best. Just to point that out, I do know that there are some countries where there's only one powerlifter. They're in the able-bodied circuit a lot and they are able to lift heavier and heavier, and then when they come back to this circuit, and then you see, well, they're going for something 30 or 40 heavier than they've ever lifted before in this competition. It's not to say they haven't been lifting the same in the training room or on the able-bodied circuit. 153, the lifetime best for Tamás Stadler of Hungary. He was here back in May for the World Cup, and he finished 5th in that, 5th in the Egger World Cup in 2019, and 6th of the European Championships in Bergsamir in 2018. His international debut was in the Egger World Cup. He finished 6th there in 2017. I seem to remember that week it was announced that the World Championships will be held this week in Egger, and that was the case for 4 years until they had to move to Georgia for COVID reasons. I think they've been in very decent host and awkward circumstances here. Had to perform a bubble, and they've done very well with that. Remember, there were other events. I think the World Weightlifting was supposed to be here too. It was supposed to be in Batumi over on the coast, as this was supposed to be, but then they moved from Georgia altogether, and this event stayed in the country but moved to Tbilisi. So 153, Tamás Stadler matches his lifetime best from earlier this year in this city, and twice in the same year he has lifted 153, and Tamás Stadler leads for Hungary. Very good positive lift, and that has him top of the standings. Strong, quality, accurate. Who could ask for anything more? Brian Gustin. Now, we always expect a lot from an athlete called B. Gustin. Bonnie is his brother. And his dad, Gustin Janang, was a lifter right through the noughties, even up to the 2010 World Championships. Bonnie has hit the heights, hasn't he, fantastically. Paralympic champion and world champion, Brian in his major championship debut. We've read a bit about him, because he always said about Bonnie that he had a brother who was involved in the sport as well as his dad. Well, now Brian is giving it his go. for Malaysia. 160 to go in front. It's the major championship debut of Brian Gustin. He is almost doubling his lifetime best if he gets this. What do you mean if he has? New lifetime best of 160. His official lifetime best coming into this was 87. There's no way he's never been anywhere near a weight like this. Well, Bonnie Gustin was 11th in his first World Championships in Mexico City, and look at him now. Porfirio Arredondo of Mexico. At 200, his lifetime best from the World Championships 4 years ago. This week in Mexico City, part of that huge Mexican team there, and a huge career. The former world champion from 2006. He has won the lot. Pan Am champion 2011, 2015. He is still the reigning America's champion at the age of 50, which he celebrated in September. He was 7th in his last World Championships. This is his 8th World Championships. Won gold in 06. And at 167, he has himself a good lift. Now there's a foundation to try and leap into the top 10. He has never finished outside the top 10 in a global championship. 4th was his best Paralympic Games, Sydney 2000, 6th in Rio.
Slaughter loaders, 175 kilos, rack height 6.
Alexander Belov of the RPC going next to the 175.
Thank you, the bar is ready, 175 kilos. RPC, Alexander Bello. First attempt.
Belov going for 175 and the lead. He's only had one World Championships previously, didn't register a mark.
No lift, Bello.
This would have been a chance to avoid that, but he hasn't yet. No lift here. No placing finish in Nur Sultan. Bronze in the 2015 Euros in Eger in Hungary, which is where he still has his mark from. And that did not go right. And actually body sequence was brought up there. Francisco Palameque of Colombia. The Pan Am bronze medalist in 2015, silver in the South Americas 2014, Took him a few years to qualify for his first Paralympic Games just outside the medals in Tokyo in 4. Paralympic for Colombia. And they usually send a really good large team here as well. 190 for the lead.
1 minute.
.205 his lifetime best. The reigning Pan Am champion. .190 is something well within his capability, and he has proven that, hasn't he? Hasn't he? Just 3 out of 3. Paralympic is our leader, but the Pan Am champion.
This concludes the first round. Round 2 begins with a bracket of 15 and a weight of 145 kilos.
Very nicely done. He had no mark in the Americas, by the way. In Bogota in 2018, the perennial Colombian champion. Silver in the South American Games in 2014. Not sure they held another one of those since. Paralympic leads 190 for Colombia. Arredondo is second for Mexico, 167. Brian Gustin third for Malaysia, 160. Thomas Stadler, Hungary, 153. On we go into round 2. There's no waiting, no lingering. And Astudillo Rojas, 145 in his major championship debut, the Chilean silver medalist in 2019. And this to go 9th. He missed in the opening round of this for a lifetime best. He's made it work. He has made it work in a way that it didn't last time. 2-1 in his favour, and Jonathan Astudillo. Oh, good job. Well done. There's always the worry that you can get stuck at a weight and just think about it too much. Wonder about what you did wrong last time. Try and overcompensate. He just came out and did it. Simple as that.
Second attempt, 152 kilos.
Cam down next, 152. He got 145 in the opening round. His lifetime best is 170. So Cam Dam to add a further 6 to his tally, and he would leap from 8th to 5th. Good 2-1 in his favour. The side referees Happy with that. And a clearance for him as well. There's still 3 waiting for a clearance. But everyone else in this group so far is now okay. Made it look good. Shinapop Kamdam. And he's still got a bit to go towards his lifetime best. Next up, Athanasios Vigenis of Greece. Second go at 153. And this would add 21 onto his lifetime best for the former world junior champion. Goes 4th if he gets this, 153 for the lift of his competitive life. Oh, it's still missed out. Chest sequence, 2 of the 3 against him. And he still hasn't been able to conjure up that little bit of Greek magic to get him onto the board. And he has been denied. So Jesus Rodriguez Vallejo for the Dominican Republic, 152. He missed in the opening round, going for 155. His lifetime best is 163. For the Pan Am 4th placer. He was looking to get into the medals in the Americas Championship in Bogota the year before. Didn't make a mark and obviously learned a bit from that. Hoping for success in St. Louis next year, in the next Americas, and then Santiago for the Pan Ams the following year. Chesterfield, Missouri. Sort of on the outskirts of St. Louis in the metro area. That's where the Americas are on next June. Got the Asia Oceania Championships in Pyeongtaek and Korea. Back here for the Europeans. African Championships on as well. Look as if they've been transferred to around September time, by the way. Had been anticipated for a bit earlier. Not sure when that change was made, but that's what's in the calendar now. Rodriguez for 4th. For 155. He missed 152 in the opening round. He's kept to his path. And it has paid off. 2 out of 3. Good lift. Good news. And Rodriguez Vallejo does go into the top 4. And that was it's a good powerful lift. He can go a bit further, and he knew he could have done that earlier. Well, he has now. No harm, no foul. He kept on the original mark in round 2 that he was going to do had he been successful in round 1. Thomas Stadler is up now for Hungary. Got 153, going for 158 now. 6th in the European Championships in 2018. There was one non-European ahead of him, so he was 7th in the Open. By having the Echo World Cup every couple of years, by having the odd major championship there, they've been able to blood a good generation of talent. And Stadler is one of those. He's only 29.
1 minute.
Could have a good decade and a half in this game. This would see him climb one place to 4th if he's successful, with all of Group A to follow. So 158 for Stadler.
Good lift.
He's gone all the way, that's good. 3 out of 3. A whiteout. And Stadler moves up into 4th place. That's a lifetime best, by the way. He matched it in the previous round, and now he's beaten it.
Rack 15. That bar is loaded. For Cameroon, Oscar Ines Makube Mosima.
So here comes Oscar Makube. 158 is his target for Cameroon. 171 is his lifetime best. The African Games 4th placer from 2015. On the World Cup circuit, he claimed bronze in Lagos 2 years ago. No mark though in the African Championships 3 years ago. Was the bronze medal mark actually in those African Championships. Didn't register a mark in the decider. 158 for 5th place here. No, 2-1 against Oscar this time. And he's gone beyond 170 in his career, so it's something that's very doable for him. Leapt up 8 kilos from his first round successful effort. Just the raising issue. So nothing for him there. So Brian Gustin is back in. He's had his lifetime best of 160 and now going for a new lifetime best of 165. He's 24, so he's older than Bonnie. He gets his big international bow now. Could you imagine a pair of Gustins winning tranche medals at different weights? Well, this would keep him in 3rd, but be a bit more secure. And this for another lifetime best of 165. That's good. That's very good. A whiteout, 3 out of 3. And Brian Gustin doesn't move up any higher in the table, but is 3rd place. But a lot more secure. He's 7 kilos clear of Stadler. And I don't think actually anybody's going to overtake him now. Apart from Alexander Beloff maybe, who's had no successful lift so far. That was excellent by Gustin. Next up from Mexico, the former world champion, Porfirio Arredondo. 174 this is. Lifetime best of 200. This is 8th World Championship. His first was 1998 in Dubai. Kind of makes you wonder if there's anyone still lifting at any level who was at the very first Worlds in Uppsala in Sweden in 1994. We don't see very many Swedes. Cumulatively, over the 7 years I've been working on this, just about count them on one hand. Wouldn't need to be a big one hand either. $174, that's a bit of a strain, and the spotters are going to have to wade in, and it's just a bit too much. Arredondo has not been able to secure any place higher. He's still in 2nd place though. He wouldn't have moved up to 2nd because Palameke is so far in front. But it would have cut the gap a bit, it would have defended his position a bit more, and it would have been a heavier lift. But he didn't reach it. Now here is the one man who could displace everyone. Alexander Beloff, who missed 175 in the opening round. This could put him up into 2nd place. The European bronze medalist in Egger in 2015, that was the only European championship he's been involved in so far. No mark in the last World Championship. Can't work out what this piece of music reminds me of. It sounds so familiar. 186 in 3 attempts in Nur Sultan, which would have been good enough for a very high finish. Been 7th there. This will be 2nd for now, and he's made it up there. 175 for the RPC, and he's in 2nd place. Good lift by Beloff. Solid lift. Bit of jubilation. He'll be doing very well to be aiming for the top 10 now. But he's solidly pushed through. That for 175. 186 not that far away. What was his target in Nur Sultan? He could easily go for something like that in round 3 here. Francisco Palameke, our leader, on 190. And that'll stay the way. But can he get 196 here? The reigning Pan Am champion, bronze in 2015, the South American silver medalist, 4th in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo. He lifted 200 at the end of August in the Tokyo International Forum. 12 kilos off a medal. All of the three ahead of him in that are entered in this. How's he done at 196? Not a lift, 2-1 against. A bar control from one of our referees, the centre referee. And also the press sequence. So he doesn't get that for now. And we've got one last round remaining. Just couldn't execute it. Palameke leading 190 for Colombia. Beloff second for the RPC 175. Arredondo Luna in bronze for Mexico, the former world champion 167. Into the final round we go. It's been a worthwhile day for Chilean fans. They've been here the whole time. Jonathan Astudillo, 145, he got it at the second attempt, and now gunning for 150. And another lifetime best. Generally, the arena, the ballroom here has emptied during the half-hour break at the Hualang Hotel. They've always come back to fill up later. This to go 8th. How good is that? Very good. White out, 3 out of 3. It's another lifetime best for the Chilean. He goes up into 8th, and he has had a really good competition. A great result. He did everything he could have wanted to do. It's been great support for him, and he has benefited from that greatly. Athanasios Vagenis of Greece has had 2 misses at 153, going for it again to add 21 onto his lifetime best. Stay to this mark. He has ambitions. Will he have the lift? Well, 7th in the last Europeans. And aiming to finish above that, if he can, when everyone's back in Tbilisi next year for the European Championships. Slated for the 24th to the 29th of September. Well, he got that lifted. The way his feet were shaking a little bit, I thought he might have had problems. He did. It's 2-1 against, and it's wipeout. He hasn't registered a mark, unfortunately. And it's been 2-1 against him for every lift. There was a bit of shake. It wouldn't have been marked down for that. That's body sequence, body position, and nobody voted him down that way. Chest not quite right. So, Oscar, the Cameroon, got 150 in the opening round, missed 158 in the second, continuing on his path, one shot at 160. Tell you what, he's very well supported. Well, Oscar has gone 11 kilos heavier than this in his career. That miss at 158, he wasn't too unduly concerned about in terms of what he would go for in this final round, as he felt it was worth staying on the path. So he's going for 160 here. It's 2 kilos higher than the mark he missed in round 2. That has been lifted all the way up. If he's got the chest sequence right, then he will get that result. And boy, are they happy in the crowd here, I'll tell you, in the front row. That's 3 out of 3. It's a whiteout, it's 160. Oscar is up to 5th. The claiming is public, and they're doing it back. Nice strength. There wasn't much wrong in the technique with the one he missed, to be honest with you. So cleared by Oscar Makube. And now it's Chinapop Kamdam. 146, 152, 162. His lifetime best is 170. But it's a big leap, and if he gets it, he'll go from 8th to 5th. The ASEAN Southeast Paralympic Games bronze medalist, the last time they were held 4 years ago. Now 21st in the last World Championships. If he finishes 5th here in Group B, then the worst he can be placed is 15th. So it will be an element of success. Next task for a lot of these who are younger is to bulk up the weights that they can do and just begin starting in Group A if they can. Obviously, you have to already lift quite heavily to start there. That is not going to go up. It was a leap of 9 kilos for Kamdam, and he hasn't got it today. And it is no lift for the Thai Chinapop Kamdam. Too much of a struggle. And from there, it's stalled, and the spotters had to help out. Alessi Parrot, the centre referee, knew that it couldn't go up, and that was the end of the lift, so spotters had to come in. And they did. Jesus Rodriguez kept his original path, missed 152, cleared 155, now going for 161, and if he gets it, we would see him rise to 5th place. Just 2 kilos outside his lifetime best, but presumably a feeling that he would not be able to match that today. He's coming close to it. Jesus Manuel Rodriguez Blanco. Pan Am fourth placer. Sixth here in the Tbilisi World Cup. Outside the top 10 and 12th in the Dubai World Cup in June. Pressing through. Now he's got that raised. Is it clean? Yes. Fantastic. He's lifted heavier in a career, but it's a significant one for a world championship. Moves him up to fifth. Right now he's looking at present. Maybe as high as 15th. Maybe even higher overall. Reaction was magnificent, but the lift was really good.
Thank you. The bar is loaded 162 kilos. Representing Hungary,
Well, that was just great.
2 kilos, third attempt.
Good, strong lift by Rodriguez. 3 out of 3, a whiteout. Next up for Hungary, Thomas Stadler. 153, 158, now going for 162. If he gets it, he goes fifth. I would edge past Rodriguez Veco. So Stadler 162, chance to go up into fifth place. We have breezed through Group B. Only 4 lifts to go after this and we go into Group A. The European sixth placer.
1 minute.
And with aspirations of going higher when everyone's back in Tbilisi next year for the Europeans in September. Well, he's pushed through that really well. 162. That is a good lift. And Stadler completes all 3, and he is the first competitor in this group to do that. 162, and he does go into 5th place.
Spotter loaders 170 kilos, rack height 7.
Unadulterated joy for Thomas Stadler. He has a lifetime best. He's broken it twice today. Brian Gustin is back, aiming for 170. If he gets this, he goes 3rd, and it will be his 3rd lifetime best of the day. And it'll be just about double what his official lifetime best was going into this competition. I was talking to one of the powerlifters earlier in the week who is the only powerlifter on the international circuit in their country, so they find themselves competing in able-bodied competition all the time, and they win all the time. But with the rules being different, they're able to lift maybe even 50% heavier than they can in this. So Brian Gustin, 170. This to go up 1 place into 3rd. He's cleared 160, 165, Plan was always to go in elements of 5. He's done that. 170. Brian's pulled it off. Very good championship debut. Bonnie started in 11th in his first World Championships, and Brian, at worst, will be 14th. At worst. The only man who can display, same as Porfirio Arredondo of Mexico. Porfirio Arredondo, Luna missed 174. If he gets it, he goes up into 3rd. And I know we refer back to the fact that he's competed in 7 World Championships, 8 World Championships, 6 Paralympics. But he's the America's champion. Former Pan Am champion, won silver in Lima. In the most recent Pan Ams 2 years ago, he was the 2011 champion in Guadalajara. This for 174 to go up into bronze, and it's not going to happen. He's just bitten off more than he can chew today. It's going to wrap up at 167 for him. And he'll stay in 4th for now, which is still a reasonably good high placing. And the lowest he can finish is 12th. And if there are quite a few misses in Group A, so we've got 2 to lift in Group B, and it is the top 2. And they've got a bit of ambition here. Now Alexander Belov is up now. What was I saying earlier about his no mark in the last World Championships? It was at 192. He'd have finished 7th, and he's going to aim very high here. 188. That's his best mark. Belov aiming for 5 kilos beyond his lifetime best. Only his 2nd World Championship, his first recorded lifts at a Worlds have happened here. He had no mark in Nur Sultan, and this to take the lead, this to overtake Palameke, this to match what he was trying to lift at the last World Championships. The spotters have become involved. It was too much. He loaded 17 extra kilos on, and there's no lift. So disconsolately, Belov exit stage right. Well, it would have been nice if he'd had the additional strength to get that any higher. Had to give himself potential of something quite decent for the RPC, but he misses out. And so his previous best, 175, is what gets carried over.
Thank you. The bar is loaded, 201 kilos.
Francisco Palameke, the first in this competition to aim for 200. The Pan Am champion, previously Pan Am bronze medalist, and the Paralympics fourth placer. Aiming for the double century. .200 is what he cleared successfully at the Paralympic Games, and he got all three lifts as well. Fifth after the opening round, fifth after the second round. He left over Ahmad Razim Azar to take fourth place. He had the confidence to aim high, and he's pretty much followed the same template here, except for the fact that for his final attempt he's going 1 kilo higher. Well, 201. He's topped by a long way in this group by 15, and this another 11. 201 for the lift of his life. Spotters were covering it, and it is all three against on the press. He came close to reaching the top. I wasn't quite sure if the spotters had to intervene. It wasn't very clear. That was 4 kilos off his lifetime best of 205. And Palameke finishes on 190. But if he had got this, stopped there, and then continued on up. But the spotters then had to come in. Palameke leading 190 for Colombia. Beloff in second for the RPC 175. Brian Gustin third for Malaysia 170. Porfirio Redondo in fourth for Mexico 167, and Thomas Stadler for Hungary in fifth spot on 162. But Palameke trying so hard to break through the 200 barrier out of Group B, and if he had succeeded it would have been really very interesting to see how he could have stayed on into Group A. But Palameke didn't get his final 2 lifts, and 190 is where he remains. It was 15 kilos in the end of his lifetime best, but he is our leader in the men's 80 kg final.
Black height 13. Rodriguez. That's a good